to you there. It's Wednesday, the 3rd of November, 2021. Welcome along to our little daily little chat show. Very pleased to see that one of those people that keep blocking everyone up and getting in the way is now in prison. There he is. That's the one there. I found it. It's been in prison a while, actually. This story is in the Metro this morning. And it says, when I climbed up on top of an aeroplane on the in 2019, so it's 2 years ago now, it's quite a while ago, as part of Extinction Rebellion's October Rebellion, I hadn't planned it, but I knew I needed to do something out of the ordinary to demand urgent action from a government negligent in the wings. What about the people on the plane? What about the people trying to fly somewhere? Same as those people blocking up the roads. We're actually on your side, believe it or not. We worry about the climate and all this, that and the other, but you're going about it the wrong way. You can't stand in people's way. Normal people who are trying to do that. You know, people trying to go on holiday, people going on business trips and things like that. No, I'm glad you're in prison. It says 2 years later, I'm writing this from a cell in Wandsworth Prison where I'm serving a 12-month sentence for causing a public nuisance, which is exactly what you've done. How on earth do you think the public are going to be on your side if you keep blocking roads and stopping planes from taking off and climbing? You see those people climbing on top of the train. Oh, they didn't stay on there long, did they? The public weren't having any of that. They dragged them off. Good. Serves you right for being in prison. Like I say, we're all on your side. I've done bits and pieces. We can all do a lot more. I had the solar panels 15 years ago. I put my solar panels up. You know, I want an electric car next. Because that's the way they are telling us that we need to do these things. I'm doing bits and pieces like that. What about your ass? Have you done much apart from, blocking up people and stopping them from moving from A to B? I'm really pleased. It says in the Metro, I'm the first Extinction Rebellion protester to serve a custodial sentence. And with the Home Secretary, the delightful Priti Patel, working hard to shut down our right to protest, I'm unlikely to be the last. Well, you do keep appearing all over the place, but you need to stop getting in people's ways and you might get them back on your side again. All right, lovey. Anyway, have a nice time in there. I'm sure the other boys, so let's see how good looking you are, darling. I'm sure, let's have a little look how good looking he is. Oh, he's not too bad. I'm sure the other boys will look after you in the prison, my love. Eh? Having a nice time on there? Don't drop that soap, my dear. Hope you were. I had a nice day yesterday. I went to see Aunty Brenda for lunch. She lives in Tring in Hertfordshire. And I left here shortly after the radio show, around about 10:15 in the morning, and got there around about 11:30. We don't rush, quite happy going 50 mile an hour. To save the planet, use less fuel. Okay? Also, a lot more on the miles per gallon if you do it like that. And got there about 11:30, had a cup of tea at Brenda's, and then we were going to go to this pastory place that we usually go to in Tring, but at the last minute I thought she might like a Toby Carvery, so I said we can go to the Toby Carvery. I've been to one for about 3 years now, right? And there's one near Hemel, I don't know if it's in Hemel Hempstead or near Hemel Hempstead. There's one there that we have been to before. So I asked her what she'd like to do. She said, oh, I don't mind, it's up to you. I said, no, it's up to you. And she said, no, it's up to you. So I said, no, it's up to you. And she said, no, it's up to you. I said, well, why don't we go to the Toby Carvery then? So I thought we'd do that. And we got there. There's no one in there. We got there about quite early, I suppose about 12:10. And there was one other customer in there. One. So we sat down and she came over. Can I get you any drinks? I said, yes, we'll have 2 teas, please. What would you like? I said, well, my auntie, she'll have the Carvery. I'm vegetarian. They were doing a mushroom and owl pie, which looked lovely in the photograph, I have to say. So she said, okay, that'll be about 10 minutes for that. I said, that's fine. I said, Brenda, do you want to go and get your dinner now? So she said, yes. I went over to the section where where the dinner is. And you've got 3 sorts of meat there. There's beef, there's turkey and something else. Probably pork, I would imagine. Great big huge joints they are. And then you've got the Yorkshire puddings there. And then all the vegetables and potatoes are set up for you to help yourself. You can go around as many times as you want, really, So Brenda started, and she just wanted turkey. So the nice lad he was cutting off the turkey, put it on the plate for her, makes it nice and pretty on there, puts the Yorkshire pudding on the plate for her. Then we move along to the vegetables, and she's putting some green beans on there, and then she put a few roast potatoes on there. I said, get an extra one for me. I can have that while I'm waiting for my dinner. So she did that. You could have ruffled potatoes, or you could have potatoes with beef dripping. And I must admit, the ones with the beef dripping looked better, so I had one of those. Right? And then there was carrots, and she's helping herself to the cauliflower. And I said, do you want me to hold the plate for you? She said, no, I'm all right. And she put it kind of like on the shelf. You know, like if you're in a restaurant or a cafeteria or somewhere like that, and there's like that shelf, and you kind of push your tray along as you're putting stuff on it. A shelf like that, so slightly lower than the counter. So you're pushing this along, and I turn round, and I'm walking back up the other way, and I heard this almighty crash. Oh, no. And I looked, and she's knocked her blooming plate off the shelf when she turned around. And I'm like, oh, Brenda, how did you do that? And it was on the floor, there's the plate in pieces and all the food all over the floor. And she said, I've never done that before. She must have moved. And the weird thing is, I knew it was going to happen. That's why I said, shall I hold the plate for you? I knew that was going to happen. How weird is that? I just saw it happening. Anyway, the manager come running out. He said, and he said, I said, oh, I'm ever so sorry. He said, please don't worry at all about it. Go and get yourself another plate, and I'll send the chef back out again to serve you again. We'll clear this up. Just carry on with your meal. Wow. What good customer service is that? That was in the Toby Carvery in Hemel, Hempstead. Very, very impressed. Very, very impressed. Well done, Toby Carvery. Very impressed with that. Lovely man he was. Really gently spoken and what have you. So that was that. And we filled the plate up again. I held it this time. I was worried about dropping it myself this time. Anyway, I held the poor Aunty Brenda. I held the plate, took it back to her table, and she started eating. And I'm kind of sitting there twiddling my thumbs like that, waiting for my meal to arrive. And about 5 minutes later, the lady came round. She said, everything all right? I said, yeah, we're fine. I'm just waiting for my pie. She said, oh, how long have you been waiting? I said, oh, about 8 or 9 minutes now. She said, I'll go and see if it's ready. I said, no, don't worry about it. There's no rush. I said, don't rush them. It'll be ready when it's ready. It's no problem. She said, are you sure? I said, yeah, it's fine. No problem at all. And another couple of minutes later, it came out. And out came this pie. Oh, my God. It looked delicious. It wasn't small. It weren't small. It was this golden pastry. Honestly, and I thought, I want a bit of that now, but I didn't. And, by the way, before the pie arrived, Brenda said, oh, did you take your potato? I said, no, you've just eaten it. She ate my potato. Never mind, so I had another one of hers. Anyway, so the pie arrived, and then I went round to help myself to the other bits and pieces. Yorkshire pudding, you've got to have one of those, if it's there. I like roast potatoes. I did have the beef dripping roast potatoes, which were delicious. Carrots, green beans, some mashed potatoes, something else that was like slices of potato and carrots. Not quite sure what that was. I would say there was a slightly spicy taste to that. Anyone know what that might have been? Like a curry-ish taste, although not curry, if you see what I mean. And a bit of vegetarian gravy, and I took that back. Oh, it was lovely. I got back to the table, and Brenda said, are you going to eat all that? I said, yes. Believe me, mine wasn't the biggest plate there. Oh my God, you want to see them pile it up in the Toby Carvery? Talk about greedy. And you can go large. They have an even bigger plate. Usually big lads are doing it. It's not the ladies so much. The big lads in there. And they've got these enormous dinners. Now, I don't mind that as long as you blooming well eat it. There's nothing worse than seeing someone load up a plate in somewhere like an all-you-can-eat buffet or a Toby Carvery, somewhere like that, and then leave half the food for it to be chucked away. It's disgusting. I hate that. All that work that, someone's planted the seed of the carrot, grown the carrot, picked it, cleaned it, cooked it, for you to throw it in the bin? I don't think so. I really hate anything like that. So, of course, I finished my dinner. And she said, do you want puddings? I said, well, I don't want one. Do you want one, Brenda? No. She said, I can't eat anymore. We were stuffed, right? And I asked for the bill. So that's 2 main dinners, 2 cups of tea for me, 1 cup of tea for Brenda. She didn't want another cup of tea. And that came to just underneath £20. It was about £19.75. Absolute bargain. Bargain. And what gets me is me and my mate, if we go to McDonald's, which is extremely rarely now, I've stopped that. Because I often don't feel particularly good after a McDonald's. I mean, we do have the whole lot. Well, don't get me wrong. We'll have some sort of burger meal each. I'll have the vegetarian. He'll have usually a chicken burger. 2 lots of chips. That'll be the large ones, okay? 2 milkshakes, 2 apple pies, 2 ice creams, usually a large box of those cheese melt things. And that comes to more than those 2 dinners we had today. And believe me, you couldn't eat after that, not for hours. In fact, afterwards, later that night, I had a little bit of sleep. When I woke up, I didn't feel right. Didn't feel right last night when I woke up. I think possibly I ate too much. Because apart from that, after the dinner, we went back to Brenda's for a cup of tea. And in her spare room, she's got all these little bags of chocolate. You know those pound bags of Whispers and Buttons and things like that. She had all these pound bags of Whispers. What are all those? Oh, they're for the children if they want to, if they come round. Well, I mean, they're not children anymore. Don't get me wrong. You know, these are people early 20s. But she's got all these bars of chocolate. She said, "Do you want one?" I said, "Well, I'll have one for later on anyway." So I said my goodbyes and drove home. And on the way there, of course, I've got this bag of chocolate sitting next to me, and I thought, I'll have a few of those. Well, it wasn't a few of them, it was a whole bag, wasn't it? And came back here, went to bed, and when I woke up, I didn't feel right at all. I don't think it was the dinner, to be honest. It was probably the bag of chocolate. Shouldn't have had that. Really shouldn't have had that. Not after all that dinner. That's just blooming greedy, that is. And I went around my mate's house last night to watch a bit of telly. And I thought the walk would do me good. Anyway, up there I had a banana sandwich with some of that lovely Morrison's bread. Morrison's, I told you, they do the best bread. They do the best bread. I bought a split tin thing, from there. And I said to my mate, well, I've got a whole one there. And they're quite large. I said, do you want half the loaf? He said, yeah. So I took half the loaf up there and a banana. I took a couple of bananas, and he made me a banana sandwich while I was up there. And I had that, and I just felt ill after that as well, So maybe I just ate too much yesterday. I'm sure it was the chocolate, to be honest. But what a lovely day with Aunty Brenda. Well, a lovely afternoon. I'm only there about 3 hours with her, But it does mean a lot to her, I know that, because she's an elderly lady living here on her own, And it was nice to spend some time. And I would like to try and go and visit her once a month, because I know how much that means to her. So I'll try and do that. But at Toby Carvery, top marks as always, 20 quid. For 2 blooming huge roast dinners. Well, it was not as huge as some of the fat people in there. Great mounds of food. I don't know where they eat it all. And they probably had the pudding as well. There's no way. And the puddings were not unreasonable. They were less than £5 for pudding. All sorts of stuff. Sticky toffee pudding. I think it was a bit of cheesecake. Some of these places, they want 7 or 8 quid for pudding now. I know TGI Fridays, where we had the really bad service in Bracknell a couple of weeks ago. That wasn't cheap. That's dear in there. Toby Carvery, highly recommended for all your stuff, all right? Thanks so much to Vera for sending in a few bits and pieces. As you well know, we've been doing the... trying out some vegan bacon. We'll be trying out some more soon, boys and girls. Okay, and Vera has sent some pictures of vegan bacon here. That's where she's just cooked it up there. That looks delicious, that does. What's that at the bottom there, Vera? Is that a pasty or a piece of toast? Oh, no, hang on a minute. It's an omelette, isn't it? Folded enough. There we go. Vera is recommending those for me. Meat-free smoked bacon rashers, which I shall get and cook and try for you all, boys and girls. We'll test those out. There it is, cooked. And it does look... That doesn't look dissimilar to bacon at all, does it? And there she is with the whole meal there. Look at that, eh? That's not bad, is it? And Vera writes, no dog chews here. It don't look like dog chews like those ones I had, does it? which tasted wonderful, which really did. It just looked a bit like dog chews. And Vera writes, you have got to try these Richmond. Just a minute. Let's see that now. You've got to try these Richmond's meat-free bacon. You get 8 rashers in a packet. The prices are Tesco's £2 on offer at the moment, normally £2.50. Waitrose £2, they're normally £2.50 there. Sainsbury's, I haven't got the offer on at the moment, £2.50. So, I could get my mate to have a look because he goes in Waitrose a lot. I don't go in Waitrose so much anymore. I love the service. I don't like the prices. They are dear in there, you know. You get, the service is fantastic in Waitrose. She says they are quick and easy to cook, looks and smells like bacon. I can't tell you if it tastes like real bacon. Not as salty as some of the other brands. As you can see, it stayed in one piece. So she says, I can't tell you if it tastes like real bacon. Didn't you eat it then? I don't know if you maybe. Oh, hang on a minute. You haven't eaten bacon, haven't you? You've been vegetarian for ages. I would know if it tastes like bacon. I mean, I've been vegetarian. Got to be 7, 8, or 9 years now, I would imagine. But I know what bacon used to taste like. I did enjoy it. You know, when it was eating dead animals, but not anymore. So thanks very much for that, Vera. And she also sent me in a picture of her Halloween outfits, and you're about to see the delightful Vera. This is her if you haven't seen her before. That's my friend Vera, okay? Oh dear, have you lost an arm, love? What's happened there? She says, on Saturday, pre-Halloween, my face, there it is, she's got beaten up. Is it domestic violence, Vera? Has someone beaten you up, my love? She says, on Saturday, pre-Halloween, my face was covered in fake blood. I had a plastic axe and half a severed arm, half eaten, covered in flesh and blood. And so were my trainers. There were no minicabs at all. Nothing. I had 1 minute to catch the last bus home. So I ran like hell to get it. No pun intended, I'm sure, with the use of the word hell there, Vera. When I got on the bus, I knew it was a big mistake. It looked like I was on a Christian bus. I was the only one in the bus dressed up. Yeah, I would have been going off. I would have been better going off on Lil Nas X bus. We love Lil Nas. Thank you very much for that, Vera. You want to send anything in? That's the email address there, my darlings. All right, Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is the email address. And talking of Halloween, Rachel Wheatland, hello Rachel, says, thank you, Chris. We had a good Halloween. Funny thing is, Rachel, when I first read this, I dressed up as Trex, and I thought, what does she mean, Trex? I've no idea. I don't, Trex. I remember that being some sort of cooking fat. Trex, wasn't it? A cooking fat or a hand cream, maybe something that Mum used to have. Trex, and of course it's not Trex. It's T-Rex. I'm so stupid. I am stupid. I am stupid. Sorry, Rachel. That's me being stupid. Anyway, she says I dressed as T-Rex and followed our daughters around town. I made some kids laugh and a child cry. Well, if you made a child cry, well done, darling. She frightened them so much they started crying. I just imagine the mums with no sense. Ow, you made my kid cry. I'd just stand there and laugh at them. No sense of humour, some people at all, Rachel. I don't know what's wrong with them, my love. So thanks for that. She gestures T-Rex. Have you got a photo of you in the T-Rex, please, Rachel? I could show people. And she also comments on the subject of Doctor Who, which we were talking about the other morning. My best parts of Doctor Who are the Daleks. We have Daleks here. Well, I've got one Dalek anyway. Just a moment. There he is. The Dalek is here, boys and girls. Let's get rid of that email address there. Just a minute now. I'm just going to get... Dalek, are you there? Dalek, are you there? We are the Daleks. You must obey the Daleks or you will be exterminated. Exterminate. Sorry. Coughing Dalek. Dalek's got COVID. Dead. I wonder if... Oh, God blimey, look at this here. I wonder if Daleks can actually get COVID. Can they get COVID? Let's put him there, shall we? Nice and close to us. We need to raise him up. You raise me up. I can't get him up there now. There we go. I put him there. Can I put him there? Does that work? Not really. Oh, that too. There. Keep me company. The Daleks are keep me company. But only for a couple of minutes, because that's it. Thank you very much for joining us on the show on this Wednesday. Another show, hopefully, for you tomorrow. If you want to send an email, there's my email address there. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Enjoy your Wednesday. Perhaps you'll join me for my radio show. If you're watching this early, I'm on the radio each and every morning at reachonair.com. There we are. That's all ready for Wednesday's show. Reachonair.com. I'll be on there Monday to Friday between, just after the 9 o'clock news. All right, loves. Thanks for watching and listening. See you soon. Ta-da.